Right.
Hey y'all, come on in, come on in. 3960. Hey y'all, come on in. I can't just start again. It don't even matter. Come on in. It's okay. Just scoot it up some. Hey y'all, hey y'all. I can't tell. So production team, y'all gonna have to tell me if anybody is on TikTok, if anybody's on Facebook, let me know. Let me know. If they have any questions, please let me know. I don't see nobody yet. Hey, if you coming in, come on in. How y'all doing? How you doing? Thank you for joining. Please stay. Give me a couple of minutes. Today we're going to be talking about, I think I done lost my already. Today we're going to be talking about conflict resolution and social media beefs. I'm just waiting for a couple of people to come in. Today, y'all, I got a little dress down. It was hot. It's 90 degrees outside. I got my little fan right here. It's hot outside. It's hot outside. It's hot outside. I don't know. Y'all gonna join us today? I don't know if they gonna join us today. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Come on in. Thank you for coming to Walking Through the Fire every week, every Thursday at 6 p.m. We here, baby. I just need you to be in the room with me. Be in the room with me. Now listen, while we on this live, I want y'all to stay. Don't just join in. I need you to stay. Because soon as you join out, that's when you going to miss some good information. I'm telling you, TikTok. I got a goal I'm trying to reach today. It probably ain't on the phone because I'm always having technical difficulties, y'all. This is what happens when you just start now, and so you got all the kinks. Technology don't never want to be working the way it's supposed to. So, and especially when you're dealing with somebody like me that's computer illiterate, listen, we having trouble all the time. My camera people try and get it together. So if y'all see the camera kind of moving, you know, if you see the camera people moving stuff, please just bear with me. Bear with me. I'm going to keep on going. Let a couple of people. Facebook, how you doing? Hey, Shanika, if you in the room, TikTok, Facebook, let me know who with me. Let me know who with me. Let me know who with me. That's okay. Just. Yeah. Let me know. Let me know. Let me see. I can see I got my specs on today. TikTok, I see you joining. Hey, babies. Why don't you stay? Tell me who's in the chat today. Who's in the chat? Who's in the chat? I'm going to go ahead and get started because I'm not going to delay. I'm here on time. I hope y'all on time. So, again, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode, another discussion, another community conversation about conflict resolution. For those that don't know me, my name is Crystal Majors. I am a grief consult, And I am a motivational speaker. You wouldn't think, because I can't get my words out today, can I? Yes. And so I just, listen, this is a community where we talk to real people about real life issues using real life experiences. I'm going to say it every time you see me on this camera. My PhD is in real life. That's where my PhD is, and I know I'm not by myself. If you tuned in last week, we had a good conversation about conflict resolution. Why? We see all kind of stuff going on in the streets right now. Why? Because we don't know how to have a conversation. Technology has reduced the sociability that we have, that we introduce our kids to. Why? Because everybody can do something behind the screen. You don't have to look at me face to face. So I'm going to just touch on a couple of things, and we just going to zoom right in. Y'all okay with that? We just going to jump right into it. But first and foremost, I don't know about you. I don't know how your day was. I hope you had a good day. But just in case you didn't, let me pour into you real quick. Father, in the name of Jesus, I thank you, oh God, for allowing me to create, or you to create, a platform where you give your people the opportunity just to come together, to have great discussion. Sometimes, oh God, we're solving problems. Sometimes we may be mentoring. Sometimes we're encouraging, and sometimes we do all of it in one. We just ask that you continue to be in the midst. Give us the courage to step out and be bold chain breakers in you. And God, if anybody has had a terrible day, a rough day, I ask that you put peace over them right now, that they have no understanding. Lord, we give you all the glory and honor. Thank God and amen. All right. Once you do that, I hope you feel better, because I feel a little better. You know how I like to say, relax, relay, release. Thank you for the hearts. Yes. Ain't nothing wrong with a little prayer. Before we get started as well, if you're on TikTok, please comment. That's how you keep seeing my face every Thursday. Send some roses, send some gifts if I hit on something that is a nugget that you're going to take away for the week. Facebook, we ain't leaving you out, baby. You can send those stars. Support. I'm telling you, your donations, your love offerings are not falling on bad ground. It is all fertile ground around here. So let's do some recapping, y'all. Let's do some recapping. So we talked about what are some of the things. So there are two conflicts that we were talking about, which was interpersonal and intrapersonal. And intrapersonal is where we talk about those battles within ourselves, that self-conflict that we have. And interpersonal is talking about conflict that you have amongst each other, where you have a disagreement or a dispute between different people. And so in order, because we ain't there yet, everything is a process. Some of us are good communicators, some of us aren't. But I guarantee you, by the time the end of this live, I guarantee you that you're going to find out if you're a good communicator or not, especially if you're a good listener or not. So, again, we talked about, Crystal, what are some of those skills that I need to even think about having a healthy conversation or being able to resolve a conflict that I may be going through? So one of them we talked about was good communication skills. And that means, again, expressing oneself clearly without facilitating, while facilitating a dialogue. And poor communication, what does that do on the flip side of that? Miscommunication, misunderstanding, a lack of clarity. And what does that do? That just heightens the dispute. Nothing gets solved. Why? Because we don't know how to talk to each other. Another thing is emotional intelligence. Recognizing, that's self-awareness. I'm going to ask you your first question, and I need you to comment. Don't just listen, if you're able, comment. Are you self-aware? And let me let you know what self-aware means. Self-aware is when you're having a bad day, Do you say, okay, self, I'm having a bad day, so I'm going to watch how I respond. I'm going to watch how I speak because it may be a little harsh than usual because I'm going through, or I got up on the wrong side of the bed. And when we tend to do that, what happens? Now we didn't cause the conflict because you responded to somebody, or you didn't feel like saying good morning, or you did say good morning. I think we all know that, the good morning. And so what we do, I ain't do nothing to her. I didn't do nothing to him. So that causes poor communication. So in order to develop the skills that you need to be able to be the diffuser. Did you hear what I said? Be a diffuser and not the one to ignite the fire. Ooh, I like that. Somebody, one of my producers, put it in the chat for me. Be a diffuser. Yes, be a diffuser. Be that peacemaker that the Bible talks about. So again, if you do not have any self-aware in your bone, that means that you're going to have strong emotions. You're going to go into it with anger. You're going to go into it with resentment. And it may be fear for people that are not bold enough to have that conversation, that are not very vocal to say, hey, this is what, I'm feeling, or this is how I'm carrying myself today. Another thing is you got to be a problem solver. You got to develop those situations, or you got to develop those skills. Problem solving will carry you not just in a conflict, but in your life period. And I think too, as a parent, I think we do our kids a disservice because we give them so much and we pacify them a lot and don't show them responsibility or how to figure out a problem. Why? Because every time they in a jam, who they call? Daddy, can you? Mama, can you? And they never put on that thinking cap for themselves. So forget the kids. I'm talking to you adults. Do you ever put that thinking cap on? Do you ever? Okay. Your negotiating skills. Now, kids is good with this. They can negotiate themselves out of a punishment. They can negotiate themselves out of not giving up that phone because they in trouble. But can they negotiate when it's time to have a difficult conversation? Are you able as an adult to negotiate when it's time to have a difficult conversation? Crystal, what does that look like? Navigating a conversation where both of you come to some type of a mutual agreement. Now, hear me out. You're not going to agree on everything. Sometimes you're going to agree to disagree, but you're not going to agree on everything. And patience and persistence. Patience and remaining calm, which means when the other person is clapping back or raising their voice, my kids say all the time, or my mother say all the time, you need to lower your voice, but I think I'm just passionate. So when I'm raising my voice, you'll know when I'm raising my voice. Anybody out there feel me? When I'm raising my voice, you'll know when I'm raising my voice. But, for example, using myself, because I say I ain't raising my voice doesn't mean that that's not how the other person is perceiving it. And soon as they're perceiving it like that, what do? Clink, clink. They shut down, or they match energy for energy. And so now we're disrupted. Somebody got to be the level head one. Everybody can't go in there rah, rah, rah. Somebody got to be the level head and not giving up when the process becomes too hard. What does that look like? Y'all disagreeing? What does that look like? Yeah, you feel like somebody ain't hearing the other person. So you have to be calm. And if you don't, like I said, we both rah-rah, and then what happens? Once somebody walks out, and then now there's nothing resolved, there's no agreement or anything. And then lastly, the culture competency part about that. Meaning, remember, we talked about it may not be your family. It may be a coworker. It may be somebody in your family. We are a melting pot. You see so many different ethnicities and races now enmeshed in different families. And so everybody is bringing in their own culture, which means now when you have different cultures, what do we get? You get different attitudes, different values, different morals, different opinions, different ways in doing things, different ways in interpreting what we think means something else. And I think I touched on that last week about we just have to be really, really careful that what doesn't seem to offend us, somebody in Jamaica or somebody in Russia, that we don't, the same thing we don't say is disrespectful or offensive is the same for them, because it may be two totally different things. And if you don't have that understanding, that's going to cause obstacles all within itself as well. So deeply held beliefs can be a challenge and reconciliation all by itself. What are the two things they say never talk about? Put it in the chat for me. I'm going to give you a moment. Put it in the chat for me. What are two things that they say never talk to people about, especially on your job? And production team, when somebody gets it, let me know who's the first to respond. I told you, this is engaging. You got to communicate back to me. Hi, Nisha. How you doing? You got to communicate. Join in with me. Join in with me. So what are the two things that people tell you do not talk about because it'll end up in a fight? Even sometimes in your own family. Did I get any? Oh, yep, I heard somebody say politics and religion. It was going so fast I couldn't see who said that though. But
and it says Love Reese is my man and my money.
Love Reese, what you say, your man and your money?
We got sports rivalries.
Sports rivalries, yeah. I would say, yeah, you can definitely get in a fight about some sports. There's some die-hard sport people out there.
And then even says politics and church.
Politics and church, which we could line up with religion. Love Reese, that my money and my man go back to, it's some things you don't mess with me about, is my money, my kids, and my man. So I like that. But thank you, ding, ding, ding. Politics and religion are two things that are guaranteed to start a heated argument. And it's guaranteed to have a difference of opinion. Especially, y'all, with what's going on in the country. We have families that are split, that are Republican and Democratic. Do you know that some families have fell out because of their different political aspects? Do you know some people don't get married or their marriages end because they didn't discuss about religion? Just something to think about. So thank you. Let me tell y'all, we talking about conflict resolution, okay? I forgot I was going to start my live off with this story, but I'm glad some more people chimed in. I'm telling you, stay with me, y'all that's joining in. Stay locked in with me for another 45 minutes, okay? So y'all, I was talking to somebody this morning. I had PT early this morning. And so they said, Crystal, do you know that this woman, I live in Indianapolis. I don't know if I got some people that live out of town. Shout out of town if you tell me what city, what state you from, and I'm going to make sure I shout you out before the live is over. They said, do you know this woman died at 7 this morning? Said a guy shot her. Y'all, looked it up. My friend sent me, because I was talking to her about it. She sent me the article. Y'all, it's just sad. I'm just heavy. And I know that I'm in the right vein. I know you guys that are on here listening to me, you gotta see it. That as long as you stay in these streets with me, you're going to be up on it. We're going to have meaningful discussion. It said that it was over here out east on, I think, North Ritter or something, that the woman was shot, had 2 sons, and her husband shot her. The husband went on a high-speed chase and the police gunned him down and he is dead. So now, the mother, the father, both dead, and they have 2 sons. Sad. Why are we so angry at 7 o'clock in the morning? Me and my friend was talking, I don't want you to love me. I don't want you to love me to death. Okay? I don't want you to love me that much. I don't. I want you to love me, but not to death. I just don't understand, like, how heated you have to be to kill your wife and the mother of your kids. And so again, that was sad to me. And think about what skills were not used. What if a conversation, a calm conversation, could have saved both of their lives? What if just feeling like they're heard when they are, because see, we don't know what happened, but again, what if the communication skills were just a little bit better? Would they still be alive? What if the emotional intelligence, because remember I told you, if you're not self-aware, you're not aware that you're already on 20 and nothing is going to take, it's nothing but this that'll take you to go 100, and now you out here shooting somebody. You can't, my friend said, who gets up in the morning and says, I'm going to go kill somebody today? Something to think about. Something to think about. So last week we left off with, okay, I know you saying, Crystal, this is what I got to do. But, like, literally, give me some examples. So we talked about active listening and that there are 2 different types, which is hearing and listening. And a lot of us do more hearing than we do listening. Why? Because I'm going to just put my hand up right now. You see that? I'm going to put my hand up right now. I'm not going to lie. I was one that while you were talking, I was too busy trying to figure out what my rebuttal was going to be. I was too busy trying to figure out, I want you to hurry up so I can say what I got to say. And that's why I got a cutting off problem. I'm admitted, what they say, self-aware. I admit that I interrupt people. Sometimes it's intentional because I think I'm just so used to doing it, even though it's not right. I do it. And why? Because I feel like I didn't heard the meat of your conversation. All that other stuff is irrelevant. But does that really foster good communication? How does that make you feel when somebody does that to you? So then why do we turn around and do it to somebody else? So think about that. Remember I told you listening requires some, you have to be intentional. You have to pay attention so that you're able to interpret the sounds of what you hear. Is what you're hearing. Especially as well as focus on the interest and not position. And I said, you know how when they were married, they can say, you can be right or you can be by yourself. Sometimes when we are going back and forth and disputing and having arguments, we go off to something that has nothing to do with what brought us to that argument. But you know what that's coming from? Poor communication. We wait. We don't have a conversation when it needs to be. We don't have a conversation because some of us need to cool off for a minute. Totally get it. Totally get it. But just because you don't say nothing don't mean that is resolved. I think people in relationships go through that a lot. Say yes or no if you agree. I think people in relationships go through that. We'll get into it, and instead of you opening your mouth saying sorry, you'll come in, you want something to eat, baby? You hungry? What you watching on TV? Instead of just saying, I am sorry. So again, focus on what the issue is at hand. Don't let issues keep building up and building up. And what I got a note that says it could be you better. And again, when you're talking and focusing on in your position, sometimes you make people feel inferior. Sometimes people try to talk to you like they're belittling you, like they up here and you down here. How can you have a level playing field conversation when somebody feel like they superior and then you inferior to them? You will never be able to clearly define the problem. You'll never be able to repair the relationship or address any harm that's done. You know what'll start happening is we start pointing the finger, and what they say, the same finger you're pointing at somebody else, you got 3 pointing back at you. So we want to play the blame game. Why? Because we don't want to focus on somebody saying, Crystal, I don't like how you just spoke to me. I think you were talking to me like you were belittling me, like I was underneath you. And so what does Crystal do? Well, when I talked to you last week, that's self-accountability is everything. Take accountability for your part in the conflict. I think I asked last week, if you've been in a relationship, and you have a severe conflict right now that has not been resolved, did you play a part in that? Whether big or small? Answer that for me. If it is somebody right now that you are not seeing eye to eye with, or you do have a conflict, do you play a part in that? Is it your communication skills? Did you listen when you tried to have that conversation? I don't know. Did I get some responses online? No, y'all just listening? Yep, I got somebody.
Well, there's one comment and then I see some bubbles like somebody is writing something.
Right, okay.
The comment that's there says, broken boys and girls become broken men and women. Low self-esteem, lack of love and encouragement, not being seen, heard, or valued consistently over time can make you snap. And then you're angry at 7 a.m. thinking about killing somebody.
Yeah.
Not right, but real.
Yeah.
And then, once this person gets done typing, I'll let you know what they say.
And what's their name? Who just sent me that?
That was Kim.
Okay, Kim. Thank you. You're absolutely right. But again, so I'm just bringing some things to you to the forefront. I just want you to examine yourself. Because by the grace of God, there go us. It may have been us being that wife, that mother, that sister, that friend, that boyfriend, that brother, that uncle. Because women snap too. Honey, they got a show called Snap, and it's women. Women snap too at 7 o'clock in the morning because we have not developed these skills that I'm talking about. Y'all don't just sit on here and let it go in one end out the other. I'm here to help you and me. This is the same thing that I'm telling you is the same thing that I had to practice and the same thing that I continue to practice. Nobody is exempt from this. So again, as well as to have empathy, strive to understand the feeling and the motivation of somebody else's and then why they're involved in the conflict. I'm telling you, when you sit down and people talk to you, you'll find out why they respond the way they do sometimes. Why they act the way they act sometimes. You'll find out that they were young men and young boys and young girls that grew up not being heard. You'll find out that they were young girls and young boys that grew up where they didn't feel worthy. And that low self-esteem comes in. The famous cliche we always say is what? Put yourself in somebody else's shoes. But do we really do that? You can't tell somebody how they feel just because you don't agree. Somebody wanted to come in and host with me. reach out to me next Thursday so we can get together, because I can't get to my phone, so we can collaborate. I would love to. Not unless you did that on accident. But please, inbox me. We can collab next week. Okay? I can't reach my phone to let you in and to join. But putting yourself, just because it's not a problem for you when somebody tells you it's a problem, doesn't mean it ain't a problem. Did you hear what I said? Let me say it again. Just because you don't think it's a problem for you doesn't mean it's not a problem for the other person. And you have to acknowledge that. And that's where that empathy comes from. You can't tell me that I wasn't angry because you said such and such. You can't tell me that I shouldn't be crying because you didn't say it as harsh as I think you said it. Don't negate somebody's feelings. Okay? And then, one that I want to I think you said it. Don't negate somebody's feelings. Okay? And then, one that I want to really, even if we are at odds, even if we are having a dispute and going back and forth, don't hit below the belt. Don't hit below the belt. They say everybody fights. It's how you fight. Fight fair. Because when you fight dirty, ooh, you talking about high emotions? What they say? You talk about my mama. Fight clean. Don't fight dirty. Okay? And so, you know how they say, we want this to be a safe space, but do we really foster the safe space? And let me say this, your safe space, creating that safe space, y'all, ain't always about what's coming out of your mouth. Remember, I told you your nonverbal cues, rolling up is everything. Y'all know when y'all was younger, your mama said something you ain't like, you roll your eyes and shit. What you say, and you ain't said nothing. It was just a facial expression. If you got kids, you know what I'm saying. So, we talk about fostering a safe space. So let's turn it a little bit to our kids real quick. Do we really provide a safe space for our kids? I do think that there are some boundaries. Now, listen, you new age parents, listen, don't shoot me. I'm entitled to my opinion. Remember, we talked about difference of opinion. You know, take it up with God, okay? But I just can't get into just your open communication don't have no guardrails. Your open communication where your child can say anything, do anything, cuss, whatever. I'm 48 years old and I still don't cuss in front of my mama. Okay? My kids is 21 and 32. They still got respect for me not to be cussing in front of me like I'm somebody on the street. So, I do now. I mean, hey, am I missing a benefit of, I get that, let your kids express themselves. Oh, but I think there's a limit to the expression. Yeah, what you think? Do you think there's a limit to the expression? Put in the chat, oh, unlimited expression or limited expression. Because, you know, kids can express themselves all they want. But, yeah, I don't even know where else to go with that. So I'm talking about kids. And so when we don't have open communication, this is what it looks like from parents. We say to our kids, oh, you can come and tell me anything. Oh, let me pinch myself. Let me pinch myself. Parents say all the time, you can tell me anything. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to use myself. My kids wouldn't tell me anything for a long time because they told me that I always jump from 0 to 100. Okay, Nisha, you said limited. I know that's right. You must be one of them old school parents. Thank you. Limited. Yeah, limited. And so, going back, again, having our kids, you can tell me anything. You can tell me anything, but when they tell us something, do we immediately start cussing them out, tell them what they did wrong? Ooh. Let me know if I'm in the house. Let me know if I'm coming down your lane. Okay? Do we tell them, I don't have time to talk to you, but they hear you on the phone with your friends, gossiping? Ooh. Or when they try to talk to us, like I said, we yell at them because we don't like something that they said. We yell at them because we don't like what they did, but we say we fostering a what? Open communication atmosphere, a safe atmosphere. Oh, I was about to say here. HE double hockey sticks. Us as adults don't even want to communicate in atmospheres like that. You yelling at me. I got a friend say, once you start yelling at me, I shut down. So if you shut down, what makes you think that kids, when adults talk to them, don't shut down? And then you know what they say? I ain't going to say nothing else to my parents. I ain't going to say nothing else. Why? Because I already know what they going to say. I already know how they going to act. Yeah, I'm just telling you what I know because my kids didn't told me the same thing. So I hope I ain't preaching to myself. What they say, it only takes one time. Only takes one time for what?
For your parent to do that to you.
Oh, it only takes one time. That's it. And then it goes back to, I think, what one of the viewers, Kim, said, we start raising hurt kids and turn them into hurt adults. Because they so shut down, now they don't know. Now that's why you get people that don't like conflict. I'm not saying that that's why all people don't like conflict. But a lot of people don't like confrontation. Ask why they don't like confrontation. It's some trauma back there. Okay? It's some trauma. And then it's or we don't talk to our kids at all. And then what they be in there doing? In the bedroom making bombs. In the bedroom running up your credit card with porn sites. Did I say that? Yes, I did. In the room and they got AKAs and nines. Yeah. Them blickies, as they call them. And then you wonder why. Now, I'm not blaming it on the gun. I'm not blaming it. Remember, I told you, in a conflict, everybody has a part to play. Okay? And then you wonder why we have these damaged kids going to these schools and causing harm and damage to communities and killing children and devastating families all over the country. So just something to think about. Something to think about. We don't talk to them at all. Let me ask a question, and I want you to I need your participation. Don't forget, send me stars, send me roses. Come on, this is how you keep seeing me on Thursdays. I love the interaction. If anybody send me something, let me know. I like to shout y'all out. I like it to be known who's on my live showing love. I see some hearts. Love you. Comment. That's how I really get my stuff, y'all. That's how you commenting on here. Okay, my first question, y'all, they gonna put it in both chats. Are you one as a parent that believes everything your child tells you? Are you one that believes everything your child tells you? Crystal, what are you talking about? When the teacher calls you and says your child was bad, do you only listen to the child? Someone did something to them. Do you listen to your kids? Let me see what they saying. Let's see. Are you one that believes, are you a parent that as a teacher or me as a coach, you come cuss me out because your child told you that I talked to them bad and I didn't talk to nobody else without coming calm, asking questions to figure out what the issue is, to come to some resolution? Are you one of them? Again, are you one of those cuss you out first and ask questions later? How many times have your child made you look stupid because, oh yeah, I said it, made you look stupid because you believed everything your child said, and it wasn't even like that. It wasn't even like that. Misunderstandings. Communication skills. Yeah, communication skills. I've been in the school system. I've had some parents as a coach, a high school coach, because your child was mad because they had to run and I told them they can run or leave practice. You get mad. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Instead of coming and say, what is the problem? What my child did. I'm going to tell you, my kids tell me all the time, you wrong, mama, because I believe in right is right and wrong is wrong. I am not going to defend your wrong. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. If I went to my daughter's school, because you know, everybody's kids, you might get 1 or 2 calls, but for the most part, all my kids were pretty good. I don't want no lightning to come down and strike me. But for the most part, yeah, we just going to leave it at that. For the most part, they were pretty good. And so when I went up to the school, because I knew my kids, I know for a fact, oh, they did something. The teacher ain't calling me because you ain't just do nothing. I just don't believe. Now, I just don't believe, even though, now listen to me, because I know there are teachers out there. I know that there are adults out there that just pick with people to pick with people. Okay? But I just truly believe that if you get a call about your child, they had some part in that conflict. I don't know. Maybe I'm by myself. Did anybody say anything in the chats?
Yes, on Facebook.
I got Facebook. What we say?
Shanika said, well, first of all, let me back up. Eva says, heck no, don't believe everything the child says.
I hope y'all can hear them, my producer.
You have to repeat it.
Go ahead.
She said, heck no, don't believe everything the child says.
Eva says, hey, this from Facebook. Thank you, Facebook. Heck no, don't believe everything your child says. Eva.
Then Shanika says, let's hear both sides of the story.
Yeah.
And if you know your child, you know what happened.
Come on, Shanika, thank you. Said, let's hear both sides of the story. And that's key. And if you know your child, you know what happened. Because I'm going to tell you, with my youngest, one thing she ain't going to do is lie. If she hit him, she hit him. She ain't going to lie. So, like you said, if you know your child, you know. So thank you, guys.
Last
yes,
comment.
Go ahead.
Investigate, ask questions to get the truth.
Ask questions to get to. I'm telling you, there's always 2 sides to the story, and the truth is in the middle. Amen. 2 sides to the story, and the truth is in the middle. Why is it always 2 sides to the story? Because everybody has their different perspectives. We're going back into how do I use those skills, Crystal, to have a productive, healthy conversation on trying to resolve conflict. Y'all, don't let these tools just stay here with you. Start talking to your kids about this. Start implanting, giving them scenarios on what if X, Y, and Z happens, what will you do? What if somebody comes up and does this? Start doing that. That is the best thing that we can do for our children, is teach them how to resolve an issue. I had somebody say to me today too, just talking. I'm talking about everybody because I get a lot of phone calls too, y'all. And I'm always in conversation just trying to glean from people. So when I sit in front of y'all, I can just kind of give you people's experiences and their opinions and their thoughts. And so somebody said, Crystal, just sit back and think about it. Indianapolis doesn't have senseless crimes. And I was like, well, I think I know what you're talking about, but what does that mean? They said, we don't have crimes where people are killing people for carjacking, or people are going in and constantly robbing people, and that's why our death toll is sky high. No, our death toll is sky high. Why? because somebody we know got into it with each other and killed each other. Whether that was you thought it was your homeboy or your homegirl. You thought y'all was friends, but this is the same person that ended your life. As I said today, a husband and a wife. So the killings, the conflicts that are leading to deaths, these aren't senseless crimes. These are crimes of within your own community, and you know them. Now, we do have our stuff where, of course, you have your burglar or intruder, and they, are using or protecting their home, and unfortunately somebody loses their life. But again, we don't have that like you see in Chicago, and that just made me think. Oh yeah, my bad. That just made me really, really think that conflict resolution is really serious, something that we need to talk about, something that we have to just stop sweeping under the rug and thinking that they're going to grasp this by themselves. And so another thing and we're wrapping up, guys, okay? I want to talk about the last 15 minutes is this social media beef. And what is social media beef? We see it all the time. It is conflict that escalates to most of the time dangerous levels. People don't fight no more. And even if they did fight, they coming back. Whoever thinks that they lost that fight is coming back. And then God forbid it ain't recorded. Oh, goodness. God forbid it ain't recorded on social media that you done got drug up and down the street. Now your ego is hurt. Now you go on here and you look at all these negative comments, and all that does is boil you up, put you on 10, where now you are emotionally irregulated and you heated. And now you ain't sleeping, so you can't get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and that's what's on your mind. Murder or red rum is on your mind. And so social media has made it so easy, y'all, for people to be bullied, for people to talk out the side of their neck, for people to spit poison and venom and discord and hide behind their phones and hide behind their computers, trolling, starting trouble that don't know nothing about you. Because people will believe one lie before 5 truths. Oh, I think I just said something there. People will pick up negativity before they believe any positivity. We see it every day on social media. I'll post something to say, God bless you, have a good day. Join my live where we're talking about real life issues. I get 3 likes and 200 views. But let me post the young ladies getting locked up. I got over 6,000 views and over 200 likes. So you have people that will amp that on, but they don't feel any of the consequence to your beef. We lost two icons in hip hop. Biggie Smalls and Tupac. The baddest rappers ever. Do you hear me? Machiavelli was my stuff, okay? Tupac, he was the stuff. Biggie Smalls, the stuff. And a East Coast and West Coast beef bust out so big that both of them died. And I know I may get this out, but I think it was less than 3 months that they died apart from each other. And they used to be friends. I told you my daughter laughed at me because after I got out the feed, y'all, she told me, you said the name wrong. It's Chief Keef, okay, and Lil JoJo. And that's the one I talked about last week where they said JoJo put his whereabouts on Twitter and he was beefing with Chief Keef, and he gets taken out on live. How many times have we seen domestic violence on live? The YSL case, y'all, I was clink. Listen, I was at work, baby. I was 6 months. I did 6 months of that trial. I gave 6 months of my life away to YouTube. Okay? And all of that, if you followed the YSL case with what's his name? Yeah, all of it with Lil Woody in it, Lil Woody. Girl, listen, that's how he got famous off that case, because he acted a plum fool. But all of that, social media, and guess what? Half of it wasn't even true. Do you know social media is an illusion? I know, but why don't we believe it? Why do you and I'm just going to say you and I, like Michael Phelps, why do you and I, when people put stuff on social media and it's subliminal messages, why do we think we're talking about us? I could put something on social media and I'll get a call talking about, ooh, was you talking about them? And I'm like, no, I was talking about something that I was watching on TV. Why? Because we always trying to read something. Or you the one putting subliminal messages on there knowing who you talking to. Come on. You might as well just say the name. I just don't understand it. And then that's why a lot of us don't like being on social media, and they say, I ain't got social media because that's the devil. Or it ain't nothing but negativity on social media. Well, I have to beg to differ. Because on my social media pages, my FYP, I don't get all of that. And my daughter says all the time, your stuff is trash. I don't get all of that. So you can monitor what comes across your feed. You can monitor what you put out and what you let in. But don't be that person, that cyberbully. Don't be that troller that stirs up chaos and you gonna throw the rock and let it hide your hands and let everybody else do your dirty work, because you know you got a couple of dogs on social media that'll take the bone back. I'm just saying, do you understand how many arguments could have been diffused? Do you understand how many physical fights and gun violence we could avoid if you just stop putting all your business on social media? I was on Facebook today. I ain't gonna say no names because I ain't talking about nobody. I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. They said F you so many times, and you can come do this, and I ain't effing with you, and keep my name out your mouth. And why do we put all our business on social media, and then when I comment something that you don't like, now you want to block me and you want to be pissed off? But yet you just put all of your stuff for the whole world to see, but then you gonna get mad. The audacity. The audacity of you blocking me because I responded to something that was negative on your page. Attention seekers. You just gotta be on everybody's page. You just gotta know what's going on. Telling everybody, well, Lil JoJo said this about your screenshotting stuff. And then when it's time to go for blow, or the gunplay happen, you ain't nowhere to be found and innocent bystanders are getting hurt. Communities are being destroyed. And so, again, you have to be, it has to be some type of collaboration, okay? You gotta focus on finding a solution. You gotta focus on finding a solution. Do you want to be right, or do you want the relationship? I'll say it again. Do you want to be right, or do you want the relationship? Do you value the friendship, the platonic relationship, the intimate relationship? Do you value it enough to decrease yourself, to put your ego to the side, to put your thoughts to the side, to hear somebody else to come to common ground? Common ground. Guys, again, I got about 5 minutes with y'all. I hope that you have taken something from these last 2 weeks. I hope that you've heard something that may have hit you deep down in your spirit. I hope that you've heard something that you're able to implement this not only for yourself, but your family, your children, so that you are able to give them the tools and the skills to have good relationships, good, healthy relationships. Okay? Yeah, good, healthy relationships. So listen, I am about to just do my close, tell y'all a little housekeeping things again. It has been wonderful communicating with you guys for this last hour. It is a joy and a pleasure that you continue to meet me back here every single Thursday. If you got a topic that you want to talk about, shoot them to me, okay? You can put it out. It ain't got to be a subliminal message. You can tag me in it, okay? If you want to be a collaborator, come on. I maybe one of these lives, I ain't too savvy yet, TikTok, so give me a minute where I can push it where people can join in so they can join in the conversation. But I don't mind you being a guest, so please let me know. You can catch me on Facebook at Crystal Majors. You can catch me at TikTok, Crystal Majors 159. And you can catch my YouTube channel. Please go subscribe. Make sure you hit the ding, 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 the bell. So every time Walking Through the Fire post something, you'll be the first to know. My YouTube channel is Walking Through the Fire LLC. Remember to put the LLC on there or you may not find us. If you want to see any past videos, thank you for the rose, Nisha. If you want to see any past videos, you can catch them on my any stream, okay? I upload them to my YouTube because we ain't been over there for a minute. So I don't want you to miss not a second. Don't forget, if you want to be a partner, if you want to sow a seed into fertile ground, I promise you, your blessing will come back to you 10 times fold. You can do stars on Facebook. You can send gifts through TikTok, roses. You can send all different kind of stuff. Most importantly, when we're on live, comment. That is what keeps me here with y'all. That's what keeps me here. I'm also selling my Walking Through the Fire t-shirts. Remember again, loves, that small to extra large is $25. If you want 2X and up, it'll be a charge of $28. Listen, we ship. Send me your address. Let me know what you need. And you say, Crystal, do you got a website? No, we ain't there. I said yet. We ain't there yet. But the way you can get a hold to me is any inbox me, direct message me on any social media platform. I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on YouTube. I promise you, I respond within 24 hours. You'll get your merchandise within 3 to 5 business days if I have to ship it, okay? So again, I love you. I thank you for becoming chain breakers with me. I thank you for being the ones that say, Crystal, I want to step out. I want to help my community. I want to help our lineage. I want to help the next generation because we can't do it by ourselves, but it takes a village. So Walking Through the Fire, thanks you. Thanks you. Continue to follow us as we follow you. And may God continue to bless the rest of your day until we see you next Thursday. Be safe, be protected, and be covered. Thank you. Have a good one.